In a city where the ocean hides more secrets than the streets, one quiet baker's life is about to be burned to ashes. Evelyn Carter thought her biggest problem was keeping her bakery warm on cold mornings, until the night she witnessed a murder she was never meant to see. Now the most feared man in Greywick, the cold, calculating mafia king Damien Hale, must protect the only witness who can destroy him or save him. As bullets chase them through tunnels carved beneath the city and fire steals everything Evelyn has ever known, a forbidden bond begins to ignite between the beast no one dares to defy and the woman he never meant to feel anything for. But in Greywick, love doesn't bloom, it bleeds. This is Ashes of the Tide, a story of danger, desire, betrayal, and the kind of love that can't exist, yet refuses to die. Quick one, drop your country or city in the comments. Let's see how far this story travels. The rain came down in thin, cold lines, making the streets of Greywick shine like a sheet of dark glass. Evelyn Carter pulled down the last metal shutter of Carter's Bakery, her small shop tucked between two old seafood stores. The smell of warm bread still lingered in the air, mixing strangely with the salty wind rolling in from the harbor. She rubbed her hands together, trying to warm her fingers. "Another long day," she muttered, locking the door. "At least tomorrow will be quiet." But Greywick City rarely offered quiet. Not truly. Evelyn took a shortcut she rarely used, an alleyway behind the row of shops that led toward the bus stop. Usually she avoided it, because it was too dark and smelled like old oil and rust. But the rain was getting heavier, and she didn't want to walk the longer route. Halfway down the alley, she heard voices. Deep. Harsh. Not the kind of voices you hear from drunks or fishermen arguing about money. These were sharp, fast whispers, dangerous ones. Evelyn slowed down, holding her breath. A crack of thunder flashed across the sky, lighting up the alley just enough for her to see three men standing near the mouth of the harbor road. One of them was on his knees, hands tied behind his back. The other two stood over him, one tall with a shaved head, and another built like solid stone, broad and muscular. Evelyn's heart hammered in her chest. No. No. I shouldn't be here. Turn around. She stepped back carefully. Then lightning struck again, bright and sudden. And she saw his face clearly. Cole Maddox. She didn't know him personally, but everyone in Greywick knew the name. The rival mob enforcer. The man whose smile meant someone was going to disappear. In that bright flash, Cole lifted a gun. The kneeling man gasped, begged. A single loud shot cracked through the storm. Evelyn slapped a hand over her mouth. Her knees weakened, and she stumbled. The noise must have alerted Cole's men. The shaved-head man jerked his head toward her. Someone's there. Evelyn froze. Cole turned slowly, his eyes sharp and dark like the deepest part of the ocean. When his gaze locked on her, she felt it like a cold blade sliding across her throat. "Well," Cole said softly, a smile creeping across his lips. "Look at that. A witness." Evelyn didn't think. She ran. Her shoes splashed through puddles as she bolted down the alley. Rain blurred everything, but fear sharpened her senses. She heard footsteps pounding behind her, their boots hitting the ground like angry drums. "Get her!" Cole shouted. Evelyn didn't look back. She pushed herself harder, lungs burning, breath ragged. She darted around the corner, almost slipping, and raced toward the main street. If she could reach the crowd near the bus stop, maybe. But as she got close, headlights blinded her. A black SUV screeched to a stop right in front of her, blocking the road. "No, no, please." The back door opened, and a voice spoke from inside, calm, deep, almost too steady for the chaos around them. "Get in." Evelyn shook her head, her hands trembling. I can't." Another set of footsteps thundered behind her. Cole's men were close. The voice spoke again, sharper this time. "Get in. Now." Something in that tone made her move. She threw herself into the SUV, the door slamming shut behind her. The driver hit the gas, and the SUV sped away. Evelyn's heartbeat felt like it was trapped in her throat. She swallowed hard and turned her head, slowly, fearfully, toward the man sitting beside her. Damien Hale. The Mafia King. Everyone in Greywick knew him. Cold. Powerful. Dangerous. A man people obeyed without question. He sat there in a black coat, rain droplets on his shoulders, dark eyes watching her like she was a puzzle he was trying to solve. Evelyn pressed herself against the opposite door, whispering, "Why are you here? Who are you?" Damien raised an eyebrow. "You ask that now?" I just saw someone get killed," she stammered. "They saw me. They were chasing me." "I know," Damien replied, voice low. "That's why I'm here." She blinked, confused. "What do you mean?" Damien didn't answer right away. He leaned back slightly, studying her in the dim interior of the car. His face was calm, unreadable, like a man who'd learned long ago never to show what he felt. "Finally," he said, "I'm the only reason you're still alive." Evelyn shivered. The city lights blurred past the windows as the car sped deeper into the night, taking her far away from her old life, into a world she never wanted to step into. The SUV pulled into a hidden garage beneath a tall, dark building overlooking the sea. Heavy steel doors slid closed behind them, sealing out the storm. Evelyn's hands shook as she stepped out of the car. Damien walked ahead of her with slow, steady steps, not checking if she was following. A large guard stood waiting near the elevator, muscular, silent, eyes sharp. "Take her upstairs," Damien ordered without looking back. Evelyn's breath hitched. "Wait, what? Where are you taking me?" Damien finally turned his head slightly, his expression unreadable. "Somewhere safer than the street." I didn't ask for this. I just want to go home." Evelyn protested. "You can't." His voice was flat, final. "Not tonight." The elevator doors opened. The guard waited. Evelyn took a step back. "I'm not going until you tell me what's happening." Damien stopped walking. Slowly, he faced her, giving her his full attention for the first time. "You witnessed a murder committed by Cole Maddox," he said simply. "I know," she whispered. "And now he will come after you." Evelyn swallowed hard. "Why? I don't matter." "You matter because you saw his face." The truth hit her like a fist. Damien continued, "Cole is reckless, but he's not stupid. A witness is a danger to him. He won't leave you alive." Her knees wobbled. She grabbed the edge of the car door for balance. So what are you going to do to me?" "Protect you," Damien replied. Those two words didn't calm her. If anything, they scared her more. "Why would you protect me?" Evelyn asked quietly. You're the Mafia King. Isn't this your world too?" Damien's gaze sharpened. "Cole is trying to tear my city apart. Every move he makes threatens everything I built. You didn't choose to be part of this, but now you are." Evelyn shook her head, tears stinging her eyes. "I don't want any part of this. I just want my bakery. My normal life." Damien's voice softened but stayed cold. "Normal ended the moment you entered that alley." Silence stretched between them, heavy and painful. Finally, Damien gave a short nod to the guard. "Bring her to the guest suite." The guard approached her gently but firmly. "Miss, this way." Evelyn hesitated, but exhaustion and fear made her limbs weak. She followed the guard into the elevator. Damien didn't step in with her. Before the doors closed, Evelyn looked at him and whispered, "Are you really helping me? Or am I just another problem for you to deal with?" Damien met her eyes. "Right now, you're the only person who can destroy Cole's plan," he said quietly. "That makes you important." Evelyn didn't know whether to feel relieved or terrified. The doors slid shut. The elevator opened into a large, dimly lit hallway. The walls were dark wood, the floors polished stone. Evelyn felt out of place, her clothes soaked and dripping onto the clean floor. The guard guided her to a room at the end of the hall. "You'll stay here tonight." Evelyn stepped inside. The suite was huge, bigger than her entire apartment. A wide bed, soft lights, a balcony overlooking the raging sea. But she didn't feel comfort. Only fear. "Can I call someone?" she asked softly. The guard shook his head. "Not until Mr. Hale says it's safe." Her chest tightened. "I don't even have clothes. Or my phone. Or anything." We'll bring what you need, he said. The door closed. Evelyn stood alone, staring at the room that was both beautiful and frightening. She went to the balcony, gripping the cold railing. The wind whipped her hair around her face as she looked down at the dark waves smashing against the rocks. "How did this happen?" she whispered. "Why me?" A quiet voice came from behind her. "Because you were in the wrong place at the wrong time." Evelyn spun around. Damien stood at the door, hands in his coat pockets, eyes fixed on her. She hadn't even heard him enter. "Do you always sneak up on people?" she asked breathlessly. He shrugged slightly. "Only when they're distracted." Evelyn crossed her arms. "You still haven't told me why you are involved." Damien's jaw tightened. "Cole Maddox used to work for me." Evelyn's eyes widened. He continued, voice steady but cold. "He betrayed me, stole from me, tried to take over territories that were not his." "And the man he killed tonight?" Evelyn asked. "One of mine," Damien said. No emotion in his voice. "Cole wanted to send a message." Evelyn swallowed. "A message to you?" "Yes." "Then I'm part of that message too," she whispered. Damien stepped closer, his expression unreadable. "Cole will come for you. He won't stop." "I didn't ask for this," Evelyn said, tears threatening. "I know." His tone softened for just a moment. "But I don't let innocent people die because of Cole's games." Evelyn looked up at him, this dangerous, unreadable man who somehow became her protector. "I don't understand your world," she admitted quietly. "You don't have to," Damien replied. "You just have to survive it." Their eyes held for a long moment. Finally, Damien said, "Rest tonight. Tomorrow, things get more complicated." And he left her alone with the storm, the secrets, and the unshakable feeling that her life had changed forever. Greywick City was still drowning in rain the next morning, but inside Damien Hale's cliffside estate, everything was calm, too calm, Evelyn thought. She woke in the large guest suite, the sound of the storm replaced by soft waves hitting the rocks far below. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then everything from last night crashed back. The alley. The gunshot. Cole's eyes locking on hers. Damien's cold voice telling her she couldn't go home. Evelyn sat up quickly, heart pounding. The room felt too big, too clean. A stranger's place. A Mafia king's place. She rubbed her face and stood slowly, walking to the balcony. Greywick's coastline stretched out before her, dark sea, sharp cliffs, and the distant shapes of ships creeping through fog. Her bakery, her small apartment, her normal life, all felt 1,000 miles away. A soft knock sounded at her door. Evelyn tensed. "Who is it?" "It's Marcus," a calm voice replied. "Mr. Hale's head of security." She opened the door cautiously. Marcus stood there, tall and stern but not unkind. He held a tray of food, warm bread, eggs, fruit, and a fresh change of clothes folded neatly. "Breakfast," he said, setting the tray down on the table. "And something to wear. Mr. Hale requested it." Evelyn raised an eyebrow. "So he gives orders for my clothes now?" Marcus didn't react. "He gives orders for your safety. Everything else follows." She sighed. "Is he always this controlling?" Marcus's lips twitched, almost a smile. "He is always Mr. Hale." That didn't answer her question, but she didn't push it. Evelyn took the clothes, simple but comfortable, a soft sweater and clean jeans. "Thank you." Marcus nodded. "Mr. Hale wants to see you when you're ready. He's waiting in the library." "The library?" Evelyn blinked. "I didn't think someone like him reads much." Marcus looked at her for a long moment. "He reads more than anyone I know." With that, he left. Evelyn changed quickly, then wandered through the hallway, feeling small in the enormous house. She passed old paintings, shelves filled with thick books, and large windows overlooking the stormy sea. She found Damien in a quiet library, standing beside a long table with a map of the city spread across it. He wasn't wearing a jacket today, just a dark shirt with rolled-up sleeves, revealing faint scars along his forearms. He didn't look up when she entered. "You're awake later than expected," he said calmly. I didn't sleep well, Evelyn answered. It's not easy to rest in a stranger's house. Damien finally raised his eyes to her. You're safe here. Safe isn't the same as comfortable. He studied her face for a moment. Sit. She didn't move. I'm not your soldier. You don't get to command me like that. Something flickered in his eyes. Surprise, maybe, but it vanished quickly. Then please sit, he corrected, voice still cool. She's Saturday. Damien pushed a small stack of papers toward her. This is everything you told me last night, written down. We're going to go through it again. Again? Why? Because details save lives. Her breath trembled. You mean my life? And mine, he added. Their eyes met. Evelyn looked away. Damien asked her to describe the alley, the angle she approached from, what the victim looked like, what Cole said before he pulled the trigger, every small detail she remembered. She hesitated when describing Cole's smile. That cold, cruel expression. It's fine, Damien said. Take your time. Evelyn's voice cracked. That man was begging. He didn't even fight back. Damien didn't flinch. Cole wants fear more than anything else. Killing someone helpless gives him the effect he enjoys. She felt sick. How can anyone enjoy that? Damien rested one hand on the table. I didn't say he was sane. The conversation paused. Evelyn looked around the room, searching for something to steady herself. Are you always this emotionless? Or is that just for me? Damien tilted his head slightly. Emotion is a weakness in my world. Is that why you push everyone away? His jaw tightened. No. Then why? He looked at her for a long time. A very long time. Because trusting the wrong person once nearly killed me. There it was, just a flicker, pain buried beneath the steel. Evelyn softened. I'm not your enemy, Damien. He didn't answer. Instead, he turned the map toward her again. Look here. This is the route Cole used to escape after the murder. Evelyn frowned. Why are you showing me this? Because you need to understand how serious this is. Damien stepped closer, pointing at the map. His shoulder brushed lightly against hers. Evelyn stiffened. His presence was too intense, too close, but he didn't seem to notice. Cole didn't run away, Damien said. He moved closer to the tunnels beneath the harbor. That means he's planning something much bigger. And what does that have to do with me? Evelyn whispered. You're the only part of his plan he didn't control, Damien replied. He will come for you. It's just a matter of when. Evelyn felt her stomach twist. Why am I even here? She asked. You could have hidden me anywhere. Damien's eyes shifted to her again, sharp, unreadable. I don't trust anyone else with your safety. The words carried weight. Uncomfortable weight. Evelyn's heartbeat quickened. You act like I'm some sort of tool, she said quietly. Something to be used. Damien's gaze hardened. You're not a tool. Then what am I? He took a step back, suddenly distant, voice lowering. You're a problem I cannot lose. The room fell silent. Evelyn hugged her arms around herself. I'm not trying to cause problems. I just want my life back. Damien's voice softened, a tone she hadn't heard from him yet. You will get it back. When Cole is gone. The promise sounded impossible, but it made her chest ache anyway. He straightened his shirt sleeves. There's more to discuss, but not now. Marcus will show you around the estate. Stay inside. Do not go near the cliff path, and do not answer the gate if someone calls your name. Evelyn frowned. Why would someone call my name? Damien held her gaze tightly. Because the people chasing you aren't afraid to pretend. A cold shiver ran down her spine. Before she could speak again, Damien was already walking away, his footsteps disappearing into the quiet hall. That was when Evelyn realized something important. Her life wasn't just changed. It was now tied to Damien's, whether she liked it or not. The day unfolded slowly. Marcus showed Evelyn the layout of the estate, the hallways, the kitchen, the backup exits she wasn't allowed to use, the ground floor gym, the surveillance room she was forbidden from entering. Damien was nowhere to be seen. Evelyn wandered through the house afterward, trying to distract herself. She examined the tall bookshelves, touched the smooth marble counters, stared at old portraits hanging on the walls. Most of the paintings featured dark-haired men and women with cold expressions. Family? Associates? She couldn't tell. As she walked deeper into the West Wing, she reached a room with a slightly open door. She hesitated, then pushed it gently. Inside was Damien's personal office. A large desk filled with paperwork. A glass case of old weapons on the wall. A huge window overlooking the crashing sea. And on a small table near the corner, a framed picture. Evelyn stepped closer, curious. The photo showed Damien much younger, maybe early 20s, standing next to a man with a sharp smile. Both looked relaxed. Close. But the man beside him, Cole Maddox. Evelyn felt her breath catch in her throat. Her fingers brushed the edge of the frame. So you really were close once. A cold voice spoke from behind her. You shouldn't be in here. Evelyn spun around. Damien stood in the doorway, eyes darker than usual, jaw clenched. I'm sorry, she said quickly. I didn't mean to snoop. You saw something that wasn't meant for you. He stepped inside, closing the door behind him. His presence seemed to fill the room immediately. I saw the picture, Evelyn admitted. You and Cole. You looked like friends. Damien finished. Yes. Damien walked past her, picked up the frame, looked at it with a tight, unreadable expression, then set it back down. We were, he said quietly. Once. What happened? Silence. Damien moved to the window, staring at the ocean. He wanted power. I trusted him. That was my mistake. Evelyn stepped closer, her voice gentle. Is that why you don't trust anyone now? Damien didn't turn around. People closest to you can cut the deepest. Evelyn hesitated, then spoke softly. I'm not trying to cut you. A faint breath escaped him, almost a laugh, but not warm. You're strange. Most people fear me. They don't talk like this. You saved my life, Evelyn said. Fear isn't the only thing I feel. Damien turned then, his eyes locking onto hers, cold but something else too. Something she couldn't name. He stepped closer, slowly, like testing a boundary. Tell me, Evelyn, he said quietly. Are you afraid of me? Her pulse jumped, but she didn't back away. She lifted her chin. No, she said. You're not the one who tried to kill me. Damien's expression flickered with something sharp, and warmed by a strange hint of approval. Before he could respond, Marcus burst into the room. Mr. Hale, he said urgently. We have a problem. Damien instantly shifted into command mode. What happened? Cole's men were seen near the lower road. They are getting close. Evelyn's stomach plunged. Damien cursed under his breath. He's moving faster than I expected. Marcus nodded. He's searching for her. Damien's eyes snapped to Evelyn, cold but protective. You stay with me. Evelyn blinked. What? Why? Because Cole is playing a hunt, Damien said. And you're the prize. Fear wrapped around her chest, tight and suffocating. Damien stepped closer, lowering his voice. I won't let him touch you. But you need to listen. No wandering. No curiosity. No unlocking doors. Evelyn bit her lip. I'm not trying to cause trouble. I know, Damien replied, surprising her. You're just braver than you realize. And brave people get careless. His words made her cheeks warm for reasons she didn't want to think about. Marcus cleared his throat. We must fortify the West Wing. Damien nodded. Do it. As Marcus hurried out, Damien glanced at Evelyn again, this time with a softer look she almost missed. This is only the beginning, he said quietly. Cole won't stop until he gets what he wants. What does he want? She whispered. Damien's voice dropped to a chilling calm. He wants revenge. My territory. My people. He paused. And now, He wants you. The wind howled outside. The house creaked under the storm. Evelyn felt the weight of the danger closing in. Damien stepped toward her again, not touching her but close enough she felt the heat from his body. "You will not leave my side," he said. "Not now. Not while the city is turning against us." A frightening truth settled between them. They were trapped together, and the walls Damien built around himself were already beginning to crack. The storm passed overnight, but Greywick didn't calm. It rarely did. By the next morning, the city hummed with whispers, dangerous ones. Damien heard them long before the newspapers printed anything. Rumors spreading through the streets, through the ports, through every dark corner where men like Cole gathered power. By noon, those whispers had grown into a roar. Damien stood in the surveillance room with Marcus and 2 other guards, watching live camera feeds from around the estate. Evelyn stayed in the hallway outside, pacing nervously. She couldn't hear their exact words, but the tone alone was enough. Tense. Angry. Sharpened like knives. Finally, Damien stepped out of the room. "Evelyn," he said. "Come inside." She followed him, her stomach tight. On the main screen, a video was playing, a shaky clip recorded on a phone. Cole Maddox's voice echoed through the speakers. "Damien Hale is hiding a witness. A little baker girl who saw one of his men murder someone in cold blood. She's helping him cover it up." Evelyn gasped. "What? That's a lie. He's twisting everything." Damien watched the screen with a jaw so tight she could see muscle twitching. Cole continued. "Her name is Evelyn Carter. She's been working for Damien behind the scenes for months. She baked poison into goods for his enemies. She's helped him kill." Evelyn's heart dropped. What? I would never." Her voice cracked. "He's making me sound like some kind of monster." Marcus switched the screen to another video. Social media comments, threats, memes made within minutes. Her photo, taken from her bakery website, had already gone viral. "She's done for. Find her. Cole's right. She's dirty. Bring the girl to the docks, she'll talk." Evelyn covered her mouth, trembling. "They think I'm helping you. They think I'm one of you." Damien walked to her slowly. His eyes were colder than she had ever seen. But when he spoke, his voice held a strange softness. "You are not one of us." He lifted a hand, hesitated, and then placed it gently under her chin, forcing her to look at him. "You are innocent. Cole made sure to destroy your reputation before he destroys you." Tears welled in her eyes. "Doesn't this make it harder for you too? People will turn on you." "People already turned on me long ago," Damien said quietly. "But I care about the truth. And the truth is that you're here because I failed to stop Cole." His words hit harder than she expected. "You didn't fail," Evelyn said. "You saved me." Damien's expression barely changed, but something in his eyes softened. Before either could speak again, Marcus interrupted. "Sir, your men downstairs are starting to question her presence. Some think Cole might be right." Evelyn froze. Damien turned sharply. "Who?" Marcus named 2 men. Trusted men. Men who had been with Damien for years. Evelyn whispered, "Because of me, your own people are doubting you." Damien shook his head. "No. They are doubting themselves. Cole is manipulating fear." He walked to the center of the room, voice dropping into his dangerous leader tone. "Marcus, bring everyone upstairs. Now. I'll speak to them myself." Within 10 minutes, 15 of Damien's men filled the room. They avoided Evelyn's eyes. Some looked angry. Some confused. Some scared. Damien stepped in front of them, calm and poised, every bit the king of the underworld Greywick feared. "You've seen Cole's lies," he began. "And some of you believed them." The room shifted uneasily. Damien's voice cut through the air. "You think I would hide a traitor in my own house?" No answer. "You think I would let a civilian manipulate my empire?" Still nothing. Damien stepped aside, revealing Evelyn. She flinched as all eyes fell on her. "This girl," Damien said quietly, Was running a bakery 10 hours a day for the last 3 years. She has no criminal record. She has never met my men, never stepped foot in our circles. A guard in the back raised his voice. But Cole says. Cole says what he needs to say, Damien snapped. Because I am the one man he could never break. So he attacks what I protect. Evelyn's breath caught. Damien continued, voice steady like steel. She is under my protection. That means she is under yours. If anyone questions that. His eyes narrowed. They are welcome to leave this house and join Cole. Silence. Not one man moved. Damien nodded. Good. Get back to your posts. As they filed out, a few glanced at Evelyn, not with blame now, but with respect. Marcus gave her a slight nod too. When the room was empty, Evelyn turned to Damien. You didn't have to defend me like that, she whispered. Yes, Damien said. I did. Why? She whispered. Damien held her gaze for a long time. Because Cole wants to break you, he said. And I will not let him. Her heartbeat raced. She looked away, trying to breathe through the rush of emotions she didn't know how to name. Fear, gratitude, confusion, and something warmer that she tried hard to push down. Damien walked toward the door. Stay close today, he ordered quietly. I need to know you're safe. Evelyn followed him out into the hall. She didn't know whether the fear around her was shrinking, or whether Damien was simply becoming the place she felt safest in. Either way, the city outside was turning against them. And inside, something between them was beginning to shift. 2 days later, the danger grew sharper. Damien's scouts spotted Cole's men near the lower cliffs again. This time closer. Too close. Damien called Evelyn into the map room. She came quickly, worry already etched into her face. What's happening? She asked. Damien pointed to the map. Cole's closing in from the south and east. If he reaches the cliffside road, he'll trap us here. Evelyn swallowed. So what do we do? We move, Damien said. There's a tunnel system under the estate. It connects to old smuggling routes beneath the harbor. We'll use it. Evelyn felt a chill. And then, Damien said, we disappear. Marcus entered the room with 3 backpacks and flashlights. The tunnels are ready. Damien pulled a black jacket over his shoulders. Then he turned to Evelyn. You stay beside me. No wandering. No falling behind. I won't, she promised. But her hands were shaking. They descended a narrow staircase behind a hidden door, dusty, old, smelling faintly of salt water and earth. The deeper they went, the darker it became. At the bottom, the air was cold, humid. The tunnel stretched far ahead, lit only by Damien's flashlight beam. Is this safe? Evelyn whispered. Safe? Damien echoed. Not really, but safer than staying above ground. They walked in silence for a while. The echo of their footsteps filled the tunnel. Evelyn hugged her arms around herself. I hate this. I hate that Cole can do whatever he wants. He can't, Damien corrected. He's desperate. When men like him get desperate, they make mistakes. And what if his mistake is catching us? Damien slowed, turning to her. If Cole finds you, Damien said quietly, he'll have to go through me. Her breath caught. For a moment, the tunnel was silent except for dripping water in the distance. Evelyn's voice softened. You make it sound easy. It isn't, Damien admitted. But some things are worth the difficulty. Their eyes held, longer than they should have. Marcus cleared his throat. We should keep moving. They walked deeper. The air grew thicker. The ground uneven. Suddenly, the tunnel rumbled, a deep, unsettling vibration. Evelyn froze. What was that? Marcus checked the ceiling. Sir, it came from the north. Damien's face darkened. Cole found an entrance. Before Evelyn could react, rocks began shaking loose from above. Dust filled the air. Then, a violent crack. The ceiling collapsed behind them, sealing the path with heavy stones. Evelyn screamed as Damien grabbed her, pulling her against his chest, shielding her from falling debris. When the dust settled, the tunnel behind them was blocked completely. Evelyn coughed, shaking. We're trapped. For now, Damien said. His hands tightened around her shoulders. But we move forward. Slowly. The tunnel ahead was narrower, darker. A single misstep could lead into a pit. They continued, Damien keeping one hand on Evelyn's back, steady and protective. After a long stretch of walking, they reached a small underground chamber. The ceiling dripped water into a shallow pool, echoing softly. Evelyn sat on a rock, exhausted. Her legs ached, her throat dry. Damien crouched beside her. You should drink. She took the water bottle Marcus offered but didn't drink right away. Instead, she studied Damien's face, his jaw clenched, hair damp with sweat, eyes scanning the shadows constantly. You're tired too, she said quietly. I don't get tired, Damien replied. Evelyn gave him a look. He sighed. Fine. I get tired. But I don't stop. She smiled weakly. Figures. A faint warmth flickered between them. Even Marcus noticed, though he pretended not to. After a moment, Evelyn spoke again. You weren't scared. Even when the tunnel collapsed. Damien's gaze softened. I was. Really? She asked. Yes. His voice dropped lower. I was scared something would happen to you. Her heart stumbled. Before she could respond, a faint echo drifted through the tunnels. Footsteps. Heavy. Multiple. Evelyn's blood turned to ice. Damien stood instantly. They're closer than I thought. Marcus drew his gun. We move now. Damien grabbed Evelyn's hand. Stay with me. His hand was warm, firm, grounding. She squeezed it, fear tightening her chest. They moved quickly through the narrow path, the echoes behind them growing louder. Damien, she whispered, panic rising. They're getting closer. I know, he said. But they won't reach you. How can you be so sure? Damien looked back at her, eyes blazing with something fierce. Something absolute. Because I will not lose you. The words hit deeper than she expected. They reached a fork in the tunnel. Damien chose the left path without hesitation. But as they turned the corner, the floor shook violently again. A loud crack split the ground. The tunnel floor gave way beneath them. Evelyn screamed as her foot slipped. Damien lunged, grabbing her waist, pulling her against him just as the earth crumbled into darkness below. For a moment, they stood pressed together in the dim light, breathing hard, heartbeats thundering. Evelyn clutched his shirt. Don't let go. Damien tightened his hold. Never. The danger was still everywhere. The tunnels were collapsing behind them. Cole's men were closing in. But something else was happening too. Something undeniable. Something neither of them wanted to admit out loud yet. And it was growing stronger with every step they took deeper underground. The tunnels finally leveled out into a long, dim hallway with old wooden beams holding the ceiling up. The air smelled like damp earth and forgotten secrets. Evelyn's legs hurt, but Damien held her steady with a hand at her back. Marcus walked ahead, gun drawn, checking every shadow. We should be close to the old transport room, he said. If Cole's men haven't reached it first. Evelyn shivered. And if they have? Damien answered without hesitation. Then we go through them. His voice was calm, but she could feel the tension in him, tight, simmering, coiled like a blade ready to strike. After another long stretch of walking, they reached a heavy metal door etched with rust. Marcus pushed it open carefully. Inside was a wide underground chamber with crates, abandoned tools, and an old railcart system that once moved smuggled goods from the harbor to the cliffs. Most of the lights were broken, giving the room a ghostly, flickering appearance. Stay close, Damien ordered. Evelyn nodded and stepped behind him. Her hand brushed against his arm, and even in this cold underground place, she felt warmth. As they crossed the room, Marcus stopped suddenly. Sir, you're going to want to see this. Damien moved forward. Evelyn peeked around him, and froze. Pinned up on one of the old support beams was a photo. Her photo. Taken from her bakery's website. and written across it in red paint. "You're mine." CM. Evelyn's blood ran cold. Damien ripped the picture off the beam and crushed it in his fist. His jaw hardened, and something dark flickered in his eyes, an anger Evelyn had never seen from him before. A dangerous, silent fury. "He's taunting us," Marcus said. "Not us," Damien replied quietly. "Me." Evelyn blinked. "What do you mean?" Damien turned to her, tension radiating off him. "Cole knows how to get under my skin," he said. "He knows who to target, who to threaten." Evelyn's breath shook. "He's doing this because of you." "No," Damien said. "He's doing it because of us. Because he thinks you make me weak." Evelyn swallowed hard. "Do I?" Damien stepped closer, close enough she could feel the quiet heat rolling from him. "You make me watchful," he said. "Focused. I don't call that weakness." Her heart fluttered, confused and full at the same time. Marcus cut in. "We need to keep moving. This means Cole's been here." As they approached the old rail cart tracks, footsteps echoed from the far side of the chamber. Fast. Heavy. Evelyn tensed. "Damien." "I hear it." Marcus took position behind a stack of crates, aiming his gun. The footsteps grew louder, closer, multiplied. "They're coming," Marcus hissed. "Stay behind me," Damien said. Evelyn grabbed his arm. "Damien, I..." He didn't let her finish. He placed a hand on her cheek, gentle, steady. "You're safe," he whispered. "I won't let anyone take you." Her breath trembled. She nodded. Gunshots tore through the chamber. Damien grabbed Evelyn and pulled her behind a stack of crates as bullets shattered wood nearby. Marcus fired back, taking down 2 men. Another voice echoed through the room, deep, mocking. "Cole Maddox." Well, he drawled from the shadows. "I knew you were sentimental, Damien. I just didn't know why." Evelyn felt Damien stiffen beside her. "Come out," Cole called. "I brought a gift." 2 of Cole's men dragged a bleeding figure into the open, one of Damien's scouts. His hands were tied, face battered. "Please," the man begged. "Don't." Cole shot him in the head. Evelyn covered her mouth, choking on a sob. Damien's eyes widened, not in fear, but pure rage. Cole's voice echoed again. "I told you, brother," he said, voice dripping cruelty. "Anything you care about, I take." Damien stood slowly, pulling Evelyn up with him, keeping her shielded behind his body. "You're not taking her," Damien said, voice low and deadly. Cole laughed, dark and sharp. "You will lose everything, Damien. Starting with her." Damien stepped forward. "Come out and face me." "Oh, I will," Cole replied. "Soon." His footsteps retreated. His men vanished behind him. Marcus fired a few more shots, but it was too late. Cole was gone. The chamber fell silent again. Evelyn clung to Damien, shaking. "He killed that man, just to get to you." "No," Damien said quietly. "He did it to get to you." She buried her face into his chest as he wrapped his arms around her. His embrace was strong, steady, grounding, almost too comforting for the world they were trapped in. "We have to move," Marcus said. "They'll regroup." Damien nodded. But he didn't let go of Evelyn right away. They continued through the tunnels. Eventually, the air shifted, the sound of water grew louder. They were approaching the old drainage channel leading into a hidden dock beneath the city. Marcus checked the surroundings. "We're clear." Evelyn leaned against a stone wall, taking shaky breaths. Damien approached her, gently lifting her chin. "Evelyn," he said softly, "look at me." Her eyes met his. "You're safe," he promised again. "Cole's not touching you." "You can't promise that," she whispered. His jaw tightened. "Watch me." For a long moment, they stood in the dim light, too close, breathing the same air, their connection sharp and undeniable. Then Marcus interrupted. "We should keep moving." Damien stepped back, letting the moment fade, but Evelyn saw the conflict in his eyes. Whatever was happening between them was real. And dangerous. By late afternoon, the tunnels spat them out onto a hidden dock. The sky above was grey, heavy with the threat of more rain. Ships rocked against the wooden posts, and the smell of seaweed and diesel filled the air. Evelyn's knees almost buckled. Fresh air. Open space. Light. She didn't realize how much she needed it until now. But the relief lasted only seconds. Because directly ahead, smoke rose over the cliffs. A thick, black cloud curling into the sky. Evelyn's heart clenched. What is that? Damien's face went pale with sudden understanding. No, he whispered. Marcus cursed. Sir, that's coming from the upper district. Evelyn grabbed Damien's sleeve. What's there? What's burning? Damien turned slowly to her. His voice was quiet. Too quiet. Your bakery. The world tilted beneath her. My bakery, she choked. Damien, my bakery. Damien caught her shoulders as she swayed. I'm sorry. No, please, no. Her voice broke. She pushed past him, running toward the edge of the dock where the cliffs began rising. She couldn't get closer from here, but she didn't care. She stared helplessly at the smoke rising higher and higher. My home, she whispered. My whole life. Damien followed her, standing beside her but keeping a respectful distance. Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. She pressed a hand to her mouth as sobs tore through her chest. That was the only thing I had left, she whispered. My safe place. My family's place. Damien's voice was low. Cole did this to hurt you. To hurt you, she snapped through tears. This is because of you. Damien didn't move. Didn't defend himself. He let her break. Let her scream. Let her blame him. Because maybe she wasn't wrong. Evelyn wiped her tears roughly. I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't want your protection. I didn't want to be part of your war. Damien took a slow step toward her. You didn't ask for this, he said quietly. But you were dragged into it. And that is my fault. His voice cracked faintly at the end, almost invisible, but still there. Evelyn looked at him through blurred eyes. Damien Hale. The cold, unshakable Mafia king. Looked like a man carrying an impossible weight. He reached toward her, slowly, giving her time to pull away. She didn't. His hand brushed her cheek, wiping a tear. His thumb lingered. His eyes darkened with something raw. You lost everything, he murmured. I know that pain more than you think. Evelyn trembled. Why won't you let me hate you? Because I don't want you to, he said simply. A quiet moment stretched between them. The sea roared below. Smoke rose above. And something fragile hung in the air, something trembling and real. Marcus cleared his throat from behind them. Sir. Cole left a message. Damien turned slowly. What kind of message? Marcus handed him a small charred piece of paper. Damien opened it. Evelyn saw his jaw tighten. What is it? She whispered. Damien handed her the burned scrap. On it, written in black ink, were 4 words. This is your warning. Cole. Evelyn felt sick. Warning for what? Damien looked at her, eyes darker than she'd ever seen. Cole isn't finished. A cold, terrible fear settled in her stomach. Evelyn whispered, voice barely audible, what is he going to do next? Damien's answer was a breath against the wind. Something worse. And Evelyn understood. The burning of her bakery wasn't the end. It was the beginning. The storm rolled in before sunset, dragging thick clouds across Greywick sky. Wind battered the coastline, and the crashing waves sounded like distant thunder. The entire city felt tense, as if holding its breath, waiting for something terrible to happen. Damien stood at the cliffside railing of the safe-house dock, staring out at the darkening water. His men stood at a distance, speaking in low, urgent tones. Marcus approached him. We're spread thin, he said. Cole's men are everywhere. He's surrounding us slowly. Damien didn't look away from the sea. He wants her. He wants you to suffer, Marcus corrected. Evelyn is just the path he's using. Damien clenched his jaw. I know. A quiet voice interrupted them. You're talking about me again, aren't you? Evelyn stood behind them, wrapped in a long dark coat. The storm wind tossed her hair around her face. She looked exhausted, sleepless eyes, pale skin, but beneath it was something harder. Something forged from the ruins of her bakery. Damien turned fully toward her. You should be inside. It's safer. I'm done hiding, she said softly but sharply. Damien, my life is already gone. All I have left is what's in front of me now. She stepped closer, looking up into his eyes. And right now, that's you. Damien's breath stilled. The storm howled around them, but all he felt was her nearness. You don't understand what you're saying, he murmured. I understand exactly, she answered. Cole isn't stopping. And neither are you. So if you're going to fight him, I want to know why. Damien hesitated. His guarded walls tried to rise again, but they cracked under her bruised, brave gaze. Because Cole took everything from me once, he said. My trust. My men. My future. And now he wants to take you. Evelyn's heart tightened. Why does that matter so much? Damien stepped closer, eyes burning with something fierce and unspoken. Because losing you would break me in ways he never could. Before Evelyn could answer, a shout came from the watchtower above the dock. Sir! Movement on the shore, north side. Marcus cursed. It could be Cole's men. Then another shout tore through the wind. Wait, look, someone's running. All eyes snapped toward the ridge. A figure stumbled along the rocky coastline, slipping, struggling, and screaming. Help! Please! Evelyn's blood turned cold. That's Jonah, she whispered. He works at the fruit stall. He buys bread from me every morning. Damien's expression sharpened. Something's wrong. Jonah reached the dock and collapsed to his knees, panting, eyes wild with terror. Evelyn, he gasped out. They took her. Damien grabbed him by the shoulders. Took who? Evelyn, Jonah choked out, shaking. They took Evelyn. Evelyn froze. I'm right here. Jonah's face twisted in confusion and fear. And no, they took the girl from your bakery. The girl who worked mornings. Sarah. Evelyn's stomach dropped. Sarah. She shouldn't even have been near. She wasn't supposed to. Jonah sobbed, gripping Evelyn's coat. They said, if you don't come, they'll kill her. Damien's fury hit like an earthquake. Marcus spoke in a low, horrified voice. Sir, that's a trap. Damien already knew. But Evelyn stepped forward, trembling. He has Sarah, she whispered. I can't just. Damien caught her wrist. You're not going anywhere alone. Their eyes locked. A silent promise passed between them. You're staying with me, he said. I am the reason Cole wants a bargaining chip. I am the one he wants to face. Evelyn swallowed hard. Then let's face him. Damien's breath shook once, barely noticeable, before he nodded. Marcus, he said, get the trucks ready. We end this tonight. The coastline warehouse. Storm winds whipped across the abandoned loading docks at the northern end of Greywick. The floodlights flickered as Damien's convoy approached the old warehouse. The building stood against the waves like a wounded beast, half rust, half shadow. Damien stepped out first, gun drawn, eyes narrowed. His men spread behind him, forming a line. Evelyn stood beside him, her hands trembling but her jaw set. She whispered, I hear something. Damien listened. A faint, muffled cry from inside. Sarah, Evelyn choked. They moved toward the warehouse. The large metal door creaked open as Damien pushed it. Inside, lanterns cast eerie circles of light on the floor. Ropes, chains, crates, everything looked like the setup for something cruel. Damien Hale, a cold voice echoed. You finally came. Cole Maddox stepped out from behind a stack of crates, a knife in one hand. And behind him, bound to a chair, gagged, crying. Was Sarah. Evelyn gasped, tears burning her eyes. Sarah. Cole grinned. Touching, isn't it? Loyalty is such a beautiful weakness. Damien stepped forward, gun raised. Let her go. Cole twirled the knife lazily. Oh, I will. After you watch her bleed. Evelyn screamed. No. Damien fired first. Cole moved at the last second, the bullet grazing his arm. His men erupted from the shadows. Gunfire exploded. Damien shoved Evelyn behind a crate. Stay down. Damien, she called. I'm not losing you, he shouted back. Marcus and Damien's men engaged with Cole's enforcers while Damien fought his way towards Sarah. Cole charged at him, knife flashing. You took my life, Cole snarled. Now I take yours. Damien blocked the strike, slammed Cole into a crate, and punched him hard. But Cole was quick. He kicked Damien back, sending him stumbling. Damien! Evelyn shouted. Cole grabbed Sarah's chair and dragged her toward the open dock behind the warehouse. The ocean roared like a beast below. If I can't break you, Cole hissed, I'll break the girl you're killing yourself to protect. Evelyn sprinted toward them. No. Cole shoved Sarah's chair toward the edge. Damien tackled Cole. They crashed onto the wet dock, rolling dangerously close to the water. Evelyn reached Sarah and ripped off the gag. Sarah, are you hurt? I'm okay, she sobbed. Please, please don't let him. Damien and Cole fought brutally, fists, elbows, boots scraping across the slick wood. Cole's knife slashed across Damien's shoulder, drawing blood. Damien grunted in pain but didn't fall. Evelyn screamed, Damien! Her voice, raw, terrified, snapped something inside him. Damien grabbed Cole's wrist, twisted, and broke it with a terrifying crack. Cole dropped the knife with a howl. Damien pinned him, breathing hard, rain pouring over them. Cole spat blood at him. You think you've won. Damien pressed his forearm to Cole's throat. It ends tonight. Cole grinned, insane, triumphant. Exactly. From inside his jacket, he pulled a detonator. Evelyn gasped. Damien, move. Damien lunged backward just as Cole pressed the button. The dock exploded. Fire and splinters blasted into the air. Damien dove for Evelyn, wrapping his arms around her as the dock shook violently. Behind them, Cole's body disappeared into the flames and waves. The explosion died down slowly. Smoke drifted into the storm. Evelyn trembled violently. Damien held her even tighter. It's over, he murmured. He's gone. But Evelyn didn't cry. She just clung to him, breathing in sharp, desperate gasps. He almost killed you, she whispered. Damien pressed his forehead against hers, his breath trembling. And I almost lost you. The storm finally broke by dawn. The sky over Greywick turned pale gold as sunlight pushed through scattered clouds. The coastline was quiet again, almost peaceful, if not for the charred remains of the dock and the lingering smell of smoke. Evelyn sat on a bench outside a temporary safe house near the cliffs. She watched the waves hit the rocks below, her thoughts spinning. Sarah was safe. Damien's men had taken her to receive care. Cole was gone, consumed by the explosion and the sea. And Evelyn. Evelyn felt hollow. Damien approached quietly, his shoulder bandaged, blood dried along his jawline. He sat beside her without speaking. For a long while, only the ocean spoke for them. Finally, Evelyn whispered, everything feels so different now. Damien stared ahead. It should. She looked at him, eyes softening. You saved me. You saved me too, he said. You kept me alive. You kept me human. Evelyn shook her head weakly. I didn't do anything. You stood in front of a knife for someone else, he said. Most of my men wouldn't dare that. You're braver than you think. She felt heat rise in her chest, not romantic heat, but something deeper. Something painful, honest. My bakery is gone, she whispered. My home. My memories. Damien's voice dropped, almost hesitant. Then let me give you a new beginning. She turned sharply. Damien. I'm not asking for forgiveness, he said. And I have no right to ask for your trust. But if you stay in Greywick, you'll be hunted by whatever remains of Cole's men. If you leave, I'll protect you until you're safe. Evelyn stared at him, trying to read the layers he kept hidden. And what about you? She asked. Damien exhaled slowly. I've lived my whole life in shadows. Power. Crime. Violence. I never cared what it cost me, until now. Her breath caught. Damien. He finally faced her fully. His eyes, usually cold, calculating, were warm in a way she had never seen. You became the one thing Cole couldn't twist or destroy, he said. The one thing that wasn't touched by my world. And I don't want to lose that. Evelyn's voice trembled. So, where does that leave us? Damien leaned closer, gently taking her hand. Her heart thudded hard. It leaves us where you choose, he said. But whatever you choose, I won't walk away from you. A slow tear rolled down her cheek, not from fear, but from the strange sense of safety she felt in his presence. The safety she never expected from a man like him. Damien brushed the tear away with his thumb. You lost your bakery, he murmured. But you haven't lost yourself. Evelyn closed her eyes. Her voice was barely above a whisper. Stay with me. Damien's breath stilled. Then he leaned his forehead against hers, his voice a soft oath. Always. The waves crashed below them, carrying away the last echoes of the night's violence. And as Greywick City stirred awake behind them, Damien Hale and Evelyn Carter sat together on the edge of a new, uncertain future. One forged in fire, blood, and the quiet possibility of something neither had dared to imagine. If you love this story and want to dive deeper into Damien and Evelyn's world, don't forget to hit that like button. Your support keeps the chapters coming. Drop your theories and favorite moments in the comments below. I read every single one, and your ideas inspire the next twists. Subscribe and turn on all notifications so you never miss the next chapter, bonus scenes, or the upcoming book too. And if you want a special scene or character POV, tell me. Your request might become the next release. Until the next chapter, stay hooked, stay curious, and stay dangerous.